Hello and welcome back to Crosshatch Puzzles. We're here for another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve. Today is Saturday, May 9th, 2026, and today's construction is by Katie Hoody. This is, I believe, her 7th or 8th construction for the New York Times, most of them, I think, have been Saturdays. She's quite talented at these themeless puzzles, as today's will be. And we see already a stack of, what are these, 10-letter entries? Yeah, on the lower left, and presumably matched in all four corners. We'll see if that ends up holding true, but that's going to be, well, challenging anyway. We'll see what happens. But also, I may be interrupted at some point, so if I end up pausing unexpectedly, that's a little bit expected for me. Not sure when, though. Anyway, let's get solving for this puzzle for Saturday, May 9th by Katie Hoody. Let's see what we got. Gold meddlers. One making calls on the fly. Is this a fishing thing? Is this aviation thing? Is this baseball? Seems like probably not baseball. You or me, for example. I mean, human being, possibly. Blank paratha, potato filled flatbread is aloo paratha. Aloo is the potato part. Exclamation of surprise from a host. You're early? Maybe. Place for a post. Could be many different kinds of posts. Dr. J for all of his NBA career. Is this Magic Johnson? This looks weird, though. Blank Kitchen, brand of organic food since 1987. This looks like Amy's Kitchen, so maybe this is not that. Name of a pope and a Roman emperor whose terms of leadership overlapped. Four letters with an O in that position is pretty odd. Central point. Could be something like the crux. Maybe. This is for you. Here. Possibly. Oh, Dr. J for all of his NBA career. Was he a Sixer, a Philadelphia 76er? Then what is this? Oh, is this the first? Leo the First? Gold meddlers. Alchemists? You or me? Mere humans? Spring up. No. Mere mortal. Oh, we want a singular. Mere mortal, maybe, because spring up will be to emerge. One of the three Stooges is Mo. Extra hot, maybe extra angry, is irate. Oh, a spanner. Parlor treat, typically served with the first 5 letters of its name. Strawberry float. Lecture, a talk. Least straightforward, say. Slyest. Perspective, someone's perspective is their take. Reached new heights, grew, literally, reached new heights. Low-level clouds with an S. No. Storage unit, digital storage unit is a byte. Legendary Himalayan climber with a Y, that's going to be the Yeti, I think. Like something no money can buy. Free, I guess. Makes some calls, refs, and here we're looking at the verb to referee, so referees, refs, I think is what we want there. Sound made by many fans, a roar maybe? Pomegranate morsel, I don't know what that's called. One of the little kernels of pomegranate, not sure what it's called. Still active after all these years. Spry, maybe? Bath seat. Is this somehow Bath like the town in England? Do we want a Britishism here? I don't really know. Central Plains nation governed by the Nasharo Council. Black and white debut of 1912. Kings of Los Angeles, for example. I mean, the Los Angeles Kings are a hockey team, but I don't think that's what we want here. What about this banner? List of qualifications, question mark. Maybe a qualification can also be like an excuse, so I wonder if that has something to do with it, but not sure. Weighty subject of some children's books. Death? Doesn't fit though. Place for a post, don't know. Husky hellos, question mark, like from a husky dog, like arfs or something. Statement that may be followed by a dash. I'll race you? It fits, and I'm pretty happy with that. Where spirits are high, and there do we want spirits like alcohols? Place for a post. A flag? No, that's not right. Maybe this is arfs. Where spirits are high. But this portable retirement option, a cot. So we're talking about retiring as in going to sleep, going to bed. Vacationers hires, perhaps dog sitters. Accomplished. This could be active or passive here. I accomplished something, or this task was accomplished, or it could be an adjective. Someone who is accomplished. Great, for example, could be the answer here. Clemson's blank Swinney, winningest head football coach in ACC history. I have no idea how I would know that. Certain razorback. Isn't that a gorilla? Looks all over, and these kinds of clues often can mean I mean, you can look at looks can be the verb, or it could be the noun. I don't know what this is going to be though. Where spirits are high. Wait, what is this? Low-level clouds. Strati, stratus clouds, strati. Rooftop bar, where spirits are high, a rooftop bar, okay. Accomplished could be adept then. Kings of Los Angeles, for example. Oh, a team, a hockey team. List of qualifications, kinda, sorta, maybe. That's very funny. Place for a post, a blog post, okay. And then weighty subject of some children's books, not a serious or sort of heavy, not a emotionally heavy subject, but a literally heavy protagonist is Babar, the Elephant King. And one making calls on the fly is a bird who might make bird calls on the wing. Although typically birds make their calls while they're perched, but anyway, that's fine. Certain razorback. Still don't see what that is. Looks all over. Oh, scours. So in this case, we want the verb. Set up for an extra point. I want assist here. Set up for an extra point. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Great find in the candy aisle by the sound of it. Great find in the candy aisle. I could be wrong, but for short. Maybe this isn't a strawberry float. I could be wrong, but because I want something like for what it's worth, FWIW or something like that here. Color separators. Color separators. Prisms. And then this is not for what it's worth. I could be wrong. In my humble opinion, maybe this is a strawberry shake then. IMHO in my humble opinion. What some bio majors do prep work for. The MCAT. Makes sense. If they're looking to get into medical school. 2000 parody of a 62 across, but this is 62 across. Scary movie. Aha. Very good. One land. One land. And one here could again be active or passive, I suppose. Or it could be the won land, where the won is the currency, which is Korea. Great find in the candy aisle by the sound of it. Score. Ah, very good. Set up for an extra point is also, if you have in an argument and you want to make one more point, you could say also. So this is an aril, a pomegranate morsel. That does sound familiar. And then this is, I don't really know what this guy's name is. Blank Swinney, winningest head coach in the ACC, and the certain razorback. I mean, it looks like it's going to be roar, but I don't really see why. I'm just going to put it in. Well, I'm going to leave it blank actually for now. We'll see. What may slow the pace of some legs in a marathon? And so we're not looking at some segments of the marathon, but we're looking at literally a runner's legs. Cramps might slow the pace. Tropical ring. You want like aloha? Like if you're ringing someone on the phone, you say aloha? Is that? I'm not really sure. Oh, a Caribbean atoll, which is a ring of sort of coral reef that forms a little bit of a bay or something like that. Garment that once indicated citizenship. A toga? A 0 is 1. An oval? Kilo follower. Kilo... Oh, Lima in the NATO phonetic alphabet. Certification program developed by the U.S. Green Building Council in brief. Is it LEED or LEAP? I think it's LEED. Skirt with a bunch of leaves, perhaps. That's really clever. A skirt is a cut of steak, and with a bunch of leaves, you might have a steak salad. This does look like that. No, it doesn't. Maybe it's lead like this. Okay, postponed court date. If you have a basketball game scheduled on a basketball court and then it's postponed, you might have a makeup game. And then New Yuck University of Knuckleheads, fictional institution where Leslie Nielsen lectured about the Three Stooges. I'm going to have to look that up because that sounds hilarious. Anyway, the rest of that looks good. Bath seat. I still don't... Oh, arse. Okay, so this is how you might say your seat or your bum. In Bath, in Britain, in British English, you might say arse or arse, as it is. A different kind of paratha, cheese-filled flatbread. Paneer paratha, there we go. Not quite cheese, but close enough. Perfume with an accent on its fourth letter. Is that Estee Lauder? Oops. Things to let abbreviated. Apartments. So a let is again a sort of mostly British usage of a word that means to rent. Apartments, I think, is what we want. Traveled to perform. Went on tour. Yeah. No time like the present. No time like the present. I don't know what we want there. Here or something? That's for sure. Something looks wrong. Hoot. A riot, possibly. Event at which you hope to get good deals. A poker party. That's very funny. That's for sure. True. And then no time like the present. So no time like... I mean, I think we want your. But how does that clue no time like the present? Like it's a time not like the present? Radio journalist with the 2023 memoir, The Best Strangers in the World, Stories from a Life Spent Listening. Looks like Ari Shapiro or Shapiro, which I think is an NPR journalist. Letter in Socrates and Aristotle's names is the Greek letter rho. Fragrant compound released during fermentation is an ester. Another central point. We had 3 down central point, and now we have another central point here, a node, I think. Central Plains nation governed by the Nashar Council, probably Pawnee then. And an Oreo, black and white debut of 1912, very funny. Okay, so then I just have to guess at this. I'm gonna guess Roar and Darrow Swinney, but this is a wild guess. I really don't know. Okay, so it's gonna be something else. What kind of name could this possibly be? And I just want to make sure I have everything else correct. Babar looks right. Statement that might be followed by a dash, like a sprint. I'll race you. Where spirits are high, spirits, alcohols might be served at an elevation, at a rooftop bar. Vacationers hires perhaps dog sitters. They might hire dog sitters to look after their pets. Kinda, sorta, maybe looks good. Looks all over, scours. That's got to be correct. So, Darrow Swinney, Davo Swinney, but then what is vor? I really don't know what that is. Not that I really have any clue what I thought a razorback was a gorilla, but I don't know. Does that work? No. Unless, yeah, the cramps has to be right, also has to be right. I don't think looks all over. Could this be anything else? Scours. No, I think it has to be this. Dapo? Damo? Dano? Oh. Dado? I mean, at this point, I'm just trying letters randomly. Dio? Tried R. This is very silly. I feel like I should just try every letter in the alphabet. I guess I should make sure that everything else is right here. But I don't really see take, group, bite, free, arrow. I mean, I'm not totally confident about arrow, I guess, but I am pretty confident about everything around it. Sound made by many fans, a roar, a spry's got to be right. Score is definitely right. MCAT, I wasn't totally confident about, but everything else looks okay. Makeup game, New Yuck University, a toga, an oval, Lima, and lead. Riot, true. Your, I guess I'm not totally confident about, but the rest of them I am. Yeah. Pawnee I'm not totally confident about, but again, the rest of these have got to be right. Emerge, refs. Okay, so just want to make sure that everything else is correct so that I don't spend a lot of time on this for no reason. But okay, here goes the stupid exercise. Oh, Dabo and boar. Razorback boar, interesting. Okay, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I don't really know what razorback means. I thought it was a type of gorilla. Maybe I'm thinking silverback. Razorback, a boar. I'll have to look at what's going on there. And Dabble's winning. I mean, I had no idea of knowing what that was. No way of knowing what that was. But okay, there is your puzzle for Saturday, May 9th. Thankfully, the B there was close to the beginning of the alphabet, so I didn't have to wait too long. But let's look at some of the fun clues. These stacks, so it didn't, it was 10. 10 stacks in all four corners. So let's look at those first. Gold medlars, people who meddle to try and make gold, I guess, alchemists. You or me, for example, I had human being and then mere human and then mere mortal is what it ends up being, which is a fun phrase here. Exclamation of surprise from a host. I'm happy to get that sort of pretty early on. You're early is what it is there. Then at this stack here, I'll race you, which is a very fun statement, maybe followed by a dash. Where spirits are high, rooftop bar, already explained. Vacationers hires dog sitters. In the bottom left corner, event at which you hope to get good deals, not bargains, but good hands dealt to you as a poker party. Ari Shapiro from NPR traveled to perform, went on tour, a nice one there as well. 2000 is a self-referential clue, which are sometimes quite difficult. 2000 parody of a 62 Across scary movie, The Movie, which is a parody of a generic scary movie. Pretty fun film. Postponed court date is great. You have to reinterpret court as a basketball court here for a makeup game. And then skirt, a skirt steak with a bunch of leaves, perhaps. And obviously they're trying to point you towards like a Hawaiian skirt or so, like a grass skirt or something like that here. But no, we want a steak salad. So that's pretty fun. One making calls on the fly. I'm a light gripe with this one because, again, I think unless you're thinking of like a raptor or something like that, that sort of makes calls in the air. Most birds, especially songbirds that you think of, make their bird calls while perched. But that's fine. We have two types of baratas in the grid here. Alu barata at 16 across and Banir barata at 49 across. We also have two types of central points, 3 down crux and 29 down a node, synonyms for each other. Dr. J, I think this is Magic Johnson, right, that we're looking at here at Philadelphia 76er. I'll have to double check. If I'm wrong about that, I'll put it in the video description. Husky hellos turn out to be what I thought, which is greetings from dogs. Reach to new heights is not figurative, but literal here. We want someone who's growing and sort of, might be marking their new heights on the wall or something like that, door frame. Storage unit here, we want not a physical storage, but a digital storage. Portable retirement option, we want not retirement at the end of one's career, but retirement at the end of one's day. Black and white debut of 1912 is very fun because this is the era of silent films, black and white films, but we want not a film, but a product here. Like something no money can buy. This is kind of related in its phrasing, the clue, to 66 across, and I like this one. No money, literally no money, can buy something that's free. You have no money, you can get something that's free. But at 66 across, no time like the present, I'm not convinced by the phrasing of the clue, because I think what we want is time not like the present, not no time like the present. If you can think of a way to interpret this clue, to parse this phrasing so that it results in days long ago, let me know in the comments. I'm a little puzzled by this. Let's keep going back, actually. Accomplished turns out to be the adjective here, adept. I'm now, after having put it in, remembered that these little sort of bits of pomegranate are called arrows. I'll have to look up razorback here. Still active after all these years is maybe even more than we need for this clue for spry. But sure, that is usually used to refer to someone who's older. Looks all over turns out to be just simple, the verb, not as opposed to the noun looks, sort of appearances. Score is a score in the candy aisle, I suppose. Tropical ring, I'm glad that I quickly switched from aloha to atoll. Here, just again, for coral reef formation that sort of makes a group of islands or a little bit of an inlet there in a circular formation. And then, Amy's Kitchen, I did end up getting that. Leo the First, so the one after whom the current Pope Leo took his name. I didn't remember that there was overlap between Leo the First, the Emperor, and Leo the First, the Pope. But I know that Leo the First, the Pope, did have dealings with the Roman Empire as sort of an early religious leader. And then what else? Extra hot, we want hot meaning angry here. Lecture is the noun, not the verb. Although it could be either way, but I think it makes more sense here as the noun. Kings of Los Angeles just ends up being the team. Sound made by many fans, so we want a sound made by many fans sounding together, not sort of a common sound made by fans, although it sort of makes sense too, but you need sort of many fans to make the sound. Bath, seat ends up needing a reinterpretation of both words here. Bath as the place and seat as your rear end. Set up for an extra point, not a sports-related clue, but in debate or an argument. Color separator is literally items that can separate light into color. And legs here, not segments, but limbs. Wan land is a very, very good clue. I like that a lot. A 0 is 1. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to this when I was solving it because I was looking for the answer, but 0 and 1 being in the same clue, you sort of have to stop yourself from thinking about both of those meaning numbers. A 0 is an example of an oval here. And I'll have to look at the New York University of Knuckleheads, Leslie Nielsen, Three Stooges thing here. I wonder if that's from Airplane or something. I'm not really sure what that's all about. But anyway, that's another great puzzle, Saturday puzzle by Katie Hoody. I hope you enjoyed this solve. If you did, let me know, leave me a thumbs up. And if you want to know when I'm posting next, I will get to tomorrow's puzzle, I think, but probably late in the day. You can hit that subscribe button and you'll get the notifications. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time on Crosshatch Puzzles. Cheers.